It's hard to ask for feedback when you're not listening. That's what today's topic is on Right Brain Recess. My top 3 tips on how to be relentless with asking for feedback, but discerning in its application. I'm your host, Dr. Laura Salyer, and it's my mission to empower as many health professionals as possible to unlock their own creative flow state so that they can be the architect of their own Renaissance medical career. And today, it's all about feedback. I want to start with a story. Now, if you've ever written your own book, you know you got to go through an editing process. And oftentimes, editors have teams of people. Editing is ruthless. It's relentless. It is uncomfortable because what you get back is a whole new script. There's lots of red ink. There's lots of suggestions for changes, and it can be very difficult to swallow. A jagged little pill, let's just say. Holla to Alanis Morissette. Anyway, I digress. So as I'm writing my book, I'm sending it off to my editing team. I did not realize it was a team until several iterations in, when I would realize that sometimes my writing landed very flat. The person that was editing it just didn't understand my story of parenthood, on why it would be so funny to have an April Fool's joke where your daughter has to inherit the braces from her older brother because he's getting them removed the same day she's getting them put on. And the editor seemed to take certain offense or question some of these funny, in my opinion, parenting stories. Well, what I realized, I wasn't writing the book for that kind of demographic. I was writing my story. So having an editing team teaches you that you need to ask for feedback from the right people, but you also need to incorporate it and discern when it applies. And that is what today's little episode is about. So I want to start off with a quote, one of my favorites from Brene Brown. And she says, there's millions of cheap seats in the world today, filled with people who will never once step foot in the arena. As a medical entrepreneur, you are brave. You are doing and creating a whole new world under your terms. So you have complete agency and autonomy. Asking for feedback from everybody isn't wise. So there are 3 ways that you can be smart and intentional about your feedback and learn how to quickly repurpose it into actionable steps. So let's start with step 1. Just do it. Start asking. How many of you have a feedback or suggestion box on your website? I don't see very many in a lot of health practitioners. Do you embed a Google form in your newsletters or in your email reminders for appointments? That's a great way to get started. The Google Forms are easy. You get a copy of the results. It can present in a beautiful graphic format. And if you're not getting much traction, you can actually attach some incentives to it. Maybe a coupon at a local area or a discount off of a course that you've created. The thing is as Daniel Kahneman said, is if we are blind to our blindness, no amount of light can illuminate a solution. So until you just start asking, you will have no idea all the things that are happening without your awareness. Do this regularly in several different areas, whether you embed it in your newsletter, on your website, in your email reminders for appointments, and people will start following through and you'll get a wonderful amount of information that can help you make decisions for your next planning calendar. The second is word choice is important. As you're designing your surveys, make it very fair and balanced. You're not just looking for glowing reviews. You're making this anonymous. That helps people feel they can be more candid and transparent. You also are asking them things like, hey, it helps me more if you tell me what was confusing or clunky. I'm asking for help in making this better for the next patient that walks in my doors, right? And so when you see this feedback come regularly, you can find these patterns of commonality. Maybe certain patients will have similar issues that you might want to pay more fine-tuned attention to, but also it helps you align your own brand's corporate culture. Now, you're not a corporation, you are your own brand. But this helps you realize that maybe certain patients might not fit well in the style of medicine that you're delivering. For me, I'm a solo micro-practice doc in a rural setting, so I rely heavily on technology. And when people have a hard time with Zoom, or they don't have an email, or they don't want to get on a computer, they're not a good fit. So if I'm getting this feedback in a survey, I'm realizing I might need to choose wisely when I have patients come into my membership. The other thing is it helps you choose staff and clients. It really helps just galvanize your own brand's mission and how you work best. And third, finally, is this is a Google Earth view that you're going to incorporate into a street view. Think about that. This is giving you that 10,000 foot altitude view of your whole workflow. And if you use this feedback, you can get really granular. If it's too much to handle and you might get a lot of negative feedback, take a break, take a breather, right? Treat it like a manuscript. Walk away for a week. Give it some time to just, kind of settle. And then look at it again in a week, or if you have a trusted colleague or friend, have them take a look and read it with fresh eyes. Does it seem like those opinions hold water? And if so, then divide that list into easy and hard tasks to implement. There are some that just are impossible. You can't have everything under the sun in one location. That's something that for the last 4 years my patients have always asked, can't we just have it all in one? It's very difficult. It may happen in the future. I'll keep it on the back burner, but it's not going to happen where I have one web area that has everything from my classes to supplement ordering to scheduling to appointments, but who knows? And then you have the easy section. Little things that I didn't know a link was broken or an extra email reminder would have saved them trouble. And these are great ways. A bonus number 4 that I didn't mention before is follow up on the feedback. Show your community that you're listening, and just have a quick social media post. These are some of the things I'm changing. We are here to shape and mold and grow a wonderful service for our community, whether it's local or virtual. And the way that you do this is feedback. So be relentless, but also be discerning and be kind to yourself and show your community that you are working just as hard as they are. And keep coloring outside the lines. Till next time,